So why ShoreTel Mobility? Why do we feel that this product meets the needs of extending that unified communications platform out to our end user mobile devices? Well, it's simple. It's multi-vendor support. It's seamless integration. It's easy to use. It's the basic fact that our end users are not going to have to worry about where they are. They're going to be able to make and receive calls and handle their communication needs seamlessly, regardless to what type of network connection they may or may not be connected to. So, what is the ShoreTel Mobility product suite? It's a two components really. It's the mobility router, which, as you can see, we have 3 units. We scale from anywhere from 10 to 5,000 users per user per unit. And the 4,000 series and 6,000 series can be redundant, can have redundant pairs. Above and beyond 5,000 users, we just add in additional mobility routers, kind of like Legos. The core functions of that mobility router is it is the piece that integrates with the IP-PBX via SIP device and SIP trunk integration. It also has the security integration piece, which is where we get the application layer VPN tunnel, which we'll talk about in a future slide. In addition, on that product is policy management and reporting and trending of our users, so that we can see, how many VoIP calls we're making, how many cellular calls we're making, so on and so forth. The other component of the solution is the Roam Anywhere client. This is the actual smart client that we place on the end user's device. This client covers Android devices. We have Windows, Nokia, Android, Nokia, Apple iOS, BlackBerry OS devices. We can run on iPads, iPods, and this is what provides the dialer and the access to the unified communications capabilities for the Roam Anywhere mobility router. So basically, what we're looking at here is a simple, rich, and easy to use product. What we've done is we basically just give you the hybrid client interface. So when you launch this client on an iPhone, you're actually looking at what looks and acts just like the iPhone dialer. Why reinvent the wheel? Why make something different that our end users have to learn and use and understand? What we're basically doing is just giving them something that looks just like the hybrid client of the mobile device that they have. And then we're enhancing the mid-call experiences. So looks like what they're used to during the native calls, but once they get a call up and running, they're going to see things like transfer and hold, and a conference button. We're enhancing that mid-call experience. It's a single app for voice, instant messaging presence, and the security is built into that single application. And then most importantly is this consistent user experience on any network. So what do we mean by that? What we're saying here is the end user is no longer going to have to worry about where they are. They don't have to worry about if they're on the corporate Wi-Fi network, not on a Wi-Fi network at all, or they get home and they get on their home Wi-Fi network. The client is smart. It's going to be able to allow them to make the call simply by launching the dialer and dialing the digits, regardless of where they're connected. In certain circumstances, let's say that they're not connected to any Wi-Fi network and then they're on the cellular network. Well, how do I make a VoIP call when I'm on the cellular network? Well, the client is smart enough to know that you don't have a data connection back to the mobility router. And what it's going to do when you dial your digits, be it an internal extension or an external number, it's simply going to flash over to the native dialer of the smartphone device, call into the mobility router over the PSTN, and then from there make the call back out through the IP-PBX, maintaining consistent caller ID of your corporate office or your corporate DID number. So what are some of the enhanced desk phone capabilities that we're going to extend out to the smartphone device? Things like extension dialing, the ability to simply just, dial the internal extension of a user. Access to the corporate directory so that you can look up those phone numbers. Literally have the mobility router dipping into Active Directory and showing all of the results from an LDAP query so that I can go and look up a user and see their internal extension, maybe their DID number, their cell phone number, their home number, their email address. And while I'm in that directory, click on their email and have it launch the email client on the smartphone to send them an email. The ability to transfer callers to internal extensions or external extensions if your PBX allows that, or place them on hold. Um, Personal dialing, the ability for me to have contacts marked as personal so that when I place a call to that personal user, say a friend or a spouse, I can have the caller ID be my cell phone. So the call won't go through the corporate PBX. It would literally go through my cell phone rather than using corporate PBX rules for personal calls. The ability to have simultaneous ring. So, when I receive a call, both my desk phone and my cell phone will ring at the same time, and I have the ability then to answer them on either one of those and move the caller between those two components. So presence, and this is a great productivity enhancement here. I actually have the ability to have a buddies list and work with an instant messaging server like Link server, and see present status, see that a user is available or a user is unavailable, and that user could maybe be, hey, I'm unavailable, but you know what? Text me, or send me an email, and I'll hopefully be able to respond to that because I'm in meetings all day, as well as the ability to have location aware presence icons set. I'm on the road, or I'm at my home Wi-Fi network, or a custom Wi-Fi location. We talked about this. This is basically, single device, dual persona. This is the ability for me to, as an admin, create policies that would allow end users to mark calls as personal and have the outbound calls use the cellular caller ID as averse to the corporate caller ID. What we're looking at here really is just device consolidation. We're looking at taking all the capabilities that people have been using as far as desk phones are concerned and video conferencing concerned, and having the ability to do all of that on an iPad as you walk around the enterprise. I mean, iPads have cameras on it. You can do video calls. You can do all of your communication needs from a single device. And of course, this is an employee bringing their own personal device in. So multi-vendor support, basically the ShoreTel Mobility Platform, if you're lucky, you have a ShoreTel phone system, and we have a seamless integration with that, along with integrations with Cisco, Nortel, and Avaya. Basically, mentioned before, what we're doing here is a SIP device side registration to the phone system, so the actual smart clients look like they are SIP endpoints to the phone system, and then a SIP trunk integration with the PBX to handle that call routing and handovers. Instant messaging, we mentioned that we work with Office Communicator, Link Server 2010. XMPP is a free instant messaging app out there that runs on Windows and Linux products. We integrate with all of the major wireless LAN vendors out there. And then, of course, when it comes to the smartphone and client devices, we pretty much have all of them covered. So the built-in security, what exactly does this mean? What we're getting at here is the application is smart enough to know whether I'm on the enterprise Wi-Fi network and internal to your environment, or I'm on an external Wi-Fi network, say my home Wi-Fi network, or one at a coffee shop or a bookstore. What the client will do then is, if I'm not on the corporate Wi-Fi network, it will automatically over the internet establish an application layer VPN tunnel back to the ShoreTel Mobility router, in essence providing me with a fully secure tunnel for voice calls. In addition, it can be certificate-based authentication for the client as well. Completely optimized for voice over Wi-Fi. We have low bit codec rates that can handle more lossy networks, as well as noise suppression and packet error concealment to smooth out the flow of packets. Mentioned this several times. This is a product that is easy to manage and support. It's not complicated. There's basically 4 sections to the integration. You got your configuration section where you do the PBX integration. All of the important phone numbers are defined. Groups are created. Users are created and put into those groups. I then have a monitoring section and a reporting section, as well as a place for maintenance where I can do system updates and troubleshooting where I can do some log views and stuff like that. So basically, to summarize, a couple of the key things here is easy to use. It has to be easy for our end users. We don't want them to have to worry about learning anything new. We just basically want them to have more capabilities and more features. And that's that simple user interface. Multi-vendor support. We integrate with multiple IP PBXs, basically anything that's SIP compliant, as well as we, on the flip side, for the end phones, we have all the major smartphone carriers out there covered with a single solution. Built-in security. It has to be robust. Application layer security, and it's simple and automatic. And then, of course, easy to manage for the IT department. Easy to add users, easy to provision. Just basically a all-around simple multi-vendor solution. And that's all that we have for you today. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, please go to www.comsolutions.com.